Welcome to the first Aaron and Dale podcast. Aaron and I will be talking about what's trending in Fresno today and news from Fresno's past and news, some of it, from around the world. If it interests us, it will surely interest you. And if it doesn't, that sounded like a poop. That didn't sound like a gunfire.
We will. First, so apparently, if people don't like our podcast, apparently we are murdering them.
Why?
Because we played a gunshot. If they didn't
respond.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's up for interpretation. It's a podcast, Dale. We can do whatever we want. It's not the radio.
Okay. What I wanted to say first is congratulate the President of the United States. And Donald Trump, or if you want to say Donald J. Trump, did a wonderful thing by bringing Gaza together with Israel. And hostages have been released. And it's an excellent thing for this country. I am pro-Israel. I'll always be pro-Israel.
If someone asked you 10 years ago, who will be the person to bring peace to Israel and Gaza, would your first choice have been Donald Trump?
Yes, he's a businessman. He's a businessman. He'll also do it with Ukraine and Putin in Russia. So it's just a matter of time. He hasn't been in the office for a year. And yet miracle things are happening, and there's still Trump derangement syndrome.
Well, the people who have the syndrome, they definitely have a Trump derangement system as well. Yes, so you weren't wrong.
It's all bad. All right, what do I got next? This is also a congratulations, Aaron. Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl has made history by selling 4 million copies, either the album or the CD, in its first week. And I think that's incredible, so I congratulate her.
How many million did you say?
4 million albums.
4 million. And that's people actually buying the album, not just listening on Spotify.
It's either the album or the CD. Top 100 radio, the top 10 is Taylor Swift. The number one song right now is The Fate of Ophelia. She's number one with that song, Taylor Swift, and she occupies the entire top 10. Not only that, but her movie about the showgirl is number one at the box office. So she's made it big time.
You know, I once met the man who supposedly discovered Taylor Swift. And he's a mutual friend of ours, which I don't know if we'll discuss this on the air, but it's a story that I tell friends who don't work in the radio business that I know the guy who supposedly discovered Taylor Swift.
What, Greg Lane? He did an interview with Taylor Swift. That's the Teardrops on My Guitar era, the beginning. She came into Kiss Country, and they talked about that song, her earliest career. Her father kind of backed her, and everything was good.
Well, the story that I was told is that in whatever year, do you know what year that was that her first album was going around? You would know. I don't know. I've never been a Swiftie.
I would say 2000.
Really? That's kind of early. Well, maybe.
If it's
anyway, I was told nobody was playing Taylor Swift music. No one. She was knocking on the door of every radio station across the country, from Nashville to Nantucket. And nobody was answering the call.
She had a dad with money. He'd share with her.
No. That's not the story I heard. The story I heard from Greg Lane, a mutual friend of ours. Well, at least mine, I guess. I don't even know if he would know me anymore, but nobody, not a single person would listen to that album. That poor girl, not a single person, until finally at midnight on a rainy night, Greg Lane is leaving the studio, and who's there in a puddle of her own tears? Taylor Swift. And he said, "Come on, kid, I'll listen to that CD," and the rest is history. That's the story I heard.
That comes up with a Ray Appleton story. Ray Appleton is a talk show host at KMJ. 50,000 watts on the AM, and who knows how many watts, 10,000 on the FM. Do you want me to tell the story?
Oh, yeah, tell me.
Okay, well, Ray was on the phone of Jerry Moss at A&M Records. And Jerry said, "I have a brand new group here, and I want you, Ray, at K-Fig, to introduce them, because K-Fig rocked." And that was 1973, I believe. The artist was Supertramp. The album was Crime of the Century. And Ray played several songs, especially School's Out and Bloody Well Right. And Fresno responded to it quite nicely. And so the rest of the country caught on to that Supertramp album. And it's an excellent album. All the tracks are great, but it was Ray Appleton on K-Fig that introduced it to everybody back in 1973 or 74.
Well, I heard that people didn't even know what music was until Ray decided to play it one day on the radio. The radio was nothing but just, the old Bing Crosby show. And then Ray said, why don't we put music on this medium?
Well, that's absolutely right. They were playing the soft stuff, and then they had 360 from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. They started playing rock on K-Fig, because in 68, 69, it was very soft. If you played the theme from Bullet, the instrumental, that's rockin' hard for that era of K-Fig. So the first song they played on the air that rocked was Mississippi Queen by Mountain. And that song does rock, except I noticed that the song slows down once the song got going, so I had to speed that up. Another song that started out right and then it slowed down was Linda Ronstadt's When Will I Be Loved? It started to drag, so I went and pitched it up without pitching up the voices. I just pitched up the tempo. And there's another example of a song that they didn't get quite right until I worked on it.
Well, thank you for doing that. And before we go any further, I feel like this being our first episode, we should kind of introduce ourselves now that we're almost 10 minutes into it, and tell people who we are, what we're doing, and why we're even here, and why you should listen to this show. First off, I haven't mentioned this to you yet, Dale, but I've been thinking about this the last couple days. This is the Aaron and Dale show. I'm Aaron Arnett. He's Dale Mell. And I think that a moniker that we should add to our show, or a byline, if you will, as they used to say in the newspaper business, is this is Fresno's premier podcast. Everyone else out there, they can podcast about Fresno and whatnot, but they do it like here and there every so often, but there's no point really to it other than to them saying, there's literally a podcast out there. Well, they spend the first half hour talking about how Fresno's hot. We all know that Fresno is hot. We don't really need to.
It has such a fabulous past. Notice I slipped that word in there.
Yes. And so
there's a
Dale
lot of things in Fresno from the past that are wonderful. Fresno is still kind of wonderful.
Well, we'll see about that. That's also a part of this podcast is I hear people talk about how Fresno is just so great. And I've been in Fresno almost all my life. And I'm, to be honest, not a huge fan. But I'm inspired by people like Dale Mell, who I call, first off, radio legend And secondly, the encyclopedia of Fresno, Dale Mell. And that's why we're doing this show, to talk about news of the day in Fresno and just other hot ticket items like we talked about earlier to begin the news on this show. But also, as we will dive into later on in this episode, interesting history of the past in Fresno that you may not know about. You never knew that this happened in Fresno. Maybe you're new to the area, or at least you're a first generation Fresnan, and you didn't have people here living who knew that the Rolling Stones played here at Ratcliffe Stadium way back when. And other radio legend who's no longer with us, Ron McCary, had to wake them up one day to get to their concert.
That's
Stories
correct.
like that.
The concert started at 10 a.m., I believe, at Radcliffe. Tickets were $5. The opening group was the Roadrunners, who wanted to get their
that guy from Looney Tunes. The guy from Looney Tunes, the Roadrunner, he opened for the Rolling Stones.
No, they had a Fresno group of that name.
Okay.
And they had 2 hits on the charts. Kino K-Make. See? That's what pops into my brain.
Yes. So he's a radio legend. I'm here to just kind of be the person kicking us along. And Dale Mell is the encyclopedia of Fresno. I'm the self-proclaimed future of radio. We'll see if that works out. But we are excited to start this journey with all of you who are watching and listening to this. And if wherever you're watching us, just know you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, anywhere that has a podcast. You can pretty much find it anywhere except for North Korea. We are available for you.
Wow.
So Dale, do you want to keep going in the news?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
So
something in 2020. Okay, do you have something to add?
No, go ahead. What do I matter? You're the encyclopedia of Fresno.
No, brother. All right, in 2025, we finally established a boulevard, which was formerly Ventura Avenue, up to Kings Canyon and Chance. And that was César Chávez Boulevard.
And we're going to be talking about that later on in the show, Dale. We're still talking about the news. That's a great tease for something we're going to do later in the show called That Sounds Like a Personal Problem. We will get to that.
On the national front, I had mainly those 2 stories of Taylor Swift.
Well, then I have a Fresno story, and that is that Rob Schneider is going to be coming on my birthday, January 24th of next year. And have you been following Rob Schneider at all the last, say, 4 or 5 years?
Pro-Trump. He's funny.
Isn't it weird? I mean, he's the only guy I can think of from the whole big heyday of Saturday Night Live and all the films he did, those, 90s, early 2000s era, who has shown up as a conservative later on.
They have Trump derangement syndrome.
As we kind of end the news here, I went on a rabbit trail. And the way that this all happened is that I was thinking about Bob Woodward. Wait, am I saying that right? Bill Woodward. Sorry, Bill Woodward. And I was thinking about him because I found out that this week, as we're recording this, Bob Woodruff, the ABC reporter who got injured in the Iraq War, he was part of a film crew for ABC News. There was a grenade, an IED or whatever went off. Anyway, he's going to be in Fresno. That led me to think about Bill Woodward, who you could probably explain better than I, was the play-by-play announcer for the Fresno State Bulldogs before the current voice of the Bulldogs, Paul Loeffler. Did you know Bill?
No, I didn't know Bill. I know he did a lot of announcing and over the years, and that's all I know per se. I'm not a buff of. I'm not a.
Well, if you listen to, yeah. Well, now's the time to start, Dale. No, but if you hear any of the Fresno State broadcasts these days, you'll always hear them say from the Bill Woodward studio or broadcast booth or whatever. But then that got me to think of, when I put that together, this is what we call what do you call this? It's some sort of mind exercise. I started with, I saw this Bob Woodruff. Sure. And then consciousness stream. It's a consciousness stream. I think the kids call it these days.
Continuous consciousness stream.
Yes. So it started with Bob Woodruff, and then it went to Bill Woodward. And then I thought, oh my goodness, is Ralph Wood still around? And apparently he's still on KMPH. And I guess I don't watch the news on the TV anymore, but apparently Ralph Wood, who also used to do sideline reporting for Fresno State games when they were on KMJ, he's still around. He's still on.
Well, is he the 10 p.m. host then? KMPH?
He's supposedly, according to their website, he's still the sports director.
Okay.
So maybe he's not on air. He's just more of a manager. I'm not sure.
And Kopi?
I think
KMPH.
I think Kopi is still around. Okay, we are almost out of time for news, so I will just end it with one more thing that I told you, Dale, before we recorded. There's a little bit of a surprise that may anger you in this. It was released this week that Fresno is getting its first Dunkin Donuts. Now, Dale, I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, it could be 10 years ago at this point, they announced, Dunkin is coming to Fresno. And then a few weeks later, they said, actually, we're going to start in Hanford. I don't know if you remember that. So
not at all.
Yeah, so Hanford has a Dunkin Donuts. I actually went there about 6 months ago or so, and it was fine. But I saw this announcement this week, and I said, yes, we're finally going to have a Dunkin Donuts. Fresno is moving on up. We're going to have a Dunkin'. And then I clicked on the story to look past the headline, and I saw where the Dunkin Donuts is going to be located. And do you have any guesses on where they might? If you were Mr. Dunkin, if you were Dunkin P. Donut, and you were going to place a Dunkin in Fresno, where would you put it, Dale Mel?
I put it out at River Park, similar to Krispy Kreme, just to compete.
Yeah. And that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, tons of people go in there all the time, take your family, get a donut, grab a coffee, and they have croissants and sandwiches and all that other stuff too nowadays. They're placing the very first Dunkin Donuts in Fresno, in Fresno's history, on the campus of Fresno State. It's going to be...
I don't see the logic there.
Neither do I. I'm glad that's
the east side of Fresno, down Cedar, down César Chávez Boulevard. They put a Steak and Shake there on the wrong side of town. We have a large minority. We have a large minority of Hispanics. And you think they want Steak and Shake? So it closed after a few months. It was over at Chestnut and César Chávez Boulevard.
Yeah, it was near Sunnyside High School or something like that, if I remember correctly. Or by the fairgrounds.
No. It was at Chestnut. It was further down from it was further down from the fairgrounds. That is Chance Avenue near Maple. That's the fairgrounds. And further down, further east, was a Steak and Shake, and that thing closed within 4 months. Wrong locale. Think of the white people that like that stuff.
And that's the news.
This man is carrying a secret weapon. It's called 007. There are plenty of safer aftershaves to wear. New 007 is for volunteers only. Once you've used it, there's no turning back. Its subtle, masculine aroma makes any man dangerous. Even nice girls invent the wildest excuses just to meet you. But if you get into trouble, you're on your own. We won't even admit we sold it to you. If you still think you're cut out for this kind of living, get 007. For special assignments, you'll need the full line, including 007 shave cream, hair tonic, and spray deodorant. That's 007 for the license to kill women.
When you use 007, be kind.
Hello there.
For the license to kill women.
Yes.
Well, Dale, this is the portion of the show that we call our heinous profit break. And this is basically the part of the show where we try to pay off our wives who are so kind to us to let us do this program. Most podcasts, they just want you to subscribe to their Patreon, which will be good for us, but not a huge benefit for you. We don't want you to spend your money for nothing. So here's something cool. It's the official Aaron and Dale Show hat. Now, I know you can't see it, but trust me, it's black. It has our logo on it. And you can proudly show your friends what you listen to in the car and on the way to work by wearing this beautiful trucker hat. Now, where can you find the hat? Well, good question. By looking at the show notes for this episode. Just a little click on our show notes, whether you're on YouTube or wherever it is, and you can order the nice little trucker hat by our friends at Sticker Mule, available now for the low price of $34.95. And Dale, while we're talking about Sticker Mule, I also want to talk about another thing. We're still in our heinous profit segment of the program.
That's fine. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Yeah. So Sticker Mule has this cool thing where if you use our link that's in the show notes to make something custom, maybe you make it yourself a hat, you make a sticker. I've made stickers. The kids love them. You know, the kids these days, they love slapping stickers on their water bottles and bumper stickers and all that. If you have a project, you can even make t-shirts. If you use our link that's in the show notes, we get a little scratch and you get $10 off. So again, you can find that in the show notes as well. And you may have noticed that Dale Mel is the man with the golden voice. And Dale Mel is going to give you, in the next 60 seconds, a pitch on why you should hire him to do your voice work. Go, Dale.
Oh, I've done lots of commercials. I've even done tags for TV commercials back east. Okay, that was North Carolina and Florida. And that was a little place called Fiverr. I've done a lot of commercials. So if you like the depth and the deep, I have the voice. And I will try my best to get the inflections just right for what you want in your commercial. We won't charge hefty fees, Aaron. We'll get to the point, do it. As I said, I've done TV tags that I mailed in, and they tagged TV commercials with my voice. So I've done a lot of commercials. I've written copy. I've done my 1,000 hours of audio work, Aaron.
Beautiful. So if you would like to solicit the Dale Mel or myself, I've done that kind of stuff as well. And I can also do any kind of voice you want me to do. I can be like, hey man, are you looking for a new Chevrolet? I can do whatever you need. I had somebody ask me to do a rap once on Fiverr. And that was great. But if you are interested in any of those services, you can find that by emailing us at aaronanddaleshow@gmail.com.
Thank you. You're wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well,
you
wanted to talk about us growing up or whatever.
Well, we're going to do that
our childhood.
Right after this.
Copper tones for you and you and you too, whoever you are, wherever you are. You'll get a beautiful tan and beautiful skin with copper tones.
Whether your skin is dark, fair, or somewhere in between, there's a copper tone to let you tan fast, not burn, and help keep your skin looking beautiful.
Copper tones for you. Get a beautiful tan and beautiful skin with Copper Tone.
Aaron and Dale, the fun never fails. The show's about to set sail. Don't forget to use their Gmail. It's the Aaron and Dale Show.
That was completely made by AI. What a world we live in.
Oh, okay.
Well, yes, this is the segment of the program, Mr. Dale Mel, the man with the golden voice. This is not that homeless guy either who ended up arrested after everybody spotlighted his voice. This is the part of the show that we like to call That Sounds Like a Personal Problem. And we're going to start with you today, Dale. Now, I should explain, this is the part of the show where normally, once you guys get to know us a little bit more, we'll tell you, oh man, this week I had to go to the doctor. We're not going to get that personal, but we'll tell you things that are going on, things that are bothering us, perhaps a complaint about Fresno. This is the one section where we are given free license to complain a little bit about Fresno. All the other sections we'll talk in a more positive light. But this one, you do get to do a little bit of complaining. And this week, I leave the floor to you to start first, Mr. Dale.
Well, Aaron, I've got bags under my eyes. And I don't appreciate that one single bit. Bags under my eyes. I was born with big ears. I was born back in 1953. So somehow I have a memory for things. People don't remember a lot. It was 1971 in high school where they allowed girls to wear a matching pant outfit, like a vest and pants. But that wasn't done earlier. Girls now in jeans and hip hugger jeans and all kinds of blouses of different colors couldn't do that back before 1971. Also, growing up in Fresno was fun. There was plenty to do, and we're going to talk about later the miniature golf courses that my brother and I remember, that maybe one or two, they don't have a thought in your mind right now, but we've got like 10 of them, which includes Blackbeards and Boomers. But growing up in Fresno for me was fun. Driving around in a 49 Ford, a 58 Ford Fairlane 500 with the 351 engine, and a 55 Buick known as the Tank. So I had a lot of fun growing up. In high school, I was shy, don't know why, and I've been in radio since 75 up to September 2024 when I retired. There.
Very nice.
And the
Thank
mole
you.
is not a camera.
That's why he is the radio legend. Sorry, did I interrupt you?
I've done it all in radio because radio doesn't pay well. So I had to take a cart of 6 minutes, and I not only had to put the various 6 spots, 1 minute each, on the cart, but you also had to put a paper to read out the text, and that was all typed on type, where it had holes in it. And you feed that into a computer, and you feed the spot for a minute. And I had to do that like 3 times when I first got into radio, shoved into a booth and did all these PSAs. And they used the PSAs even after I was let go for 2 years, I believe. That was it. That was the rotating cart that I put together back in 1976. All right, Aaron.
Now, we had written down a couple things for you to talk about in this section. I don't know if you've got that paper in front of you, but there's a certain street in Fresno that has recently been renamed, and you had quite a bit to tell our listeners about this certain street, or boulevard, yes, if you will. So have at it.
Recently, Aaron, the Fresno City Council had decided they were going to resurrect the name of Cesar Chavez Boulevard. And this time it was for real. Didn't matter if Ventura had letterhead that showed the Ventura address. You had to change it in 2025 to Cesar Chavez Boulevard. But the interesting part is they were originally going to name Ventura Avenue up to chance, and I think Kings Canyon takes over from there. But Aaron, I don't know. In 1992, one afternoon when I was either off work or I was somewhere, I don't think I was in college anymore, and I come home and I see they're putting up the signs for Cesar Chavez Boulevard back in 92.
No.
Up for a day because I was the one that called it into Channel 30, and it went on the evening news that the city council hadn't approved of this name change yet. They had to get in touch with storefront people and get everything organized for this new street name to make sure they understood that their letterhead had to be changed. So the city council hadn't voted on it yet for the name change. It was still Ventura, but they were putting up the signs. And then I called Channel 30. It was on the 5 o'clock news, Aaron, and then the 11 o'clock news that day, that you can't do this without city council approval. So the signs went down the next morning in 1992.
And you were the guy who stopped it. But yeah, where were you where were you earlier this year?
I'm older, Aaron. I'm in my 70s now. I already admitted I was born in 53. Grew up at Winchell, Sequoia Junior High, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade then, and then Roosevelt High School, and then went to City College.
Well, my problem now is I drive around, and some places I go, I see a sign for the road I'm about to turn left or right on, and it says Kings Canyon. And then I go other places, and it's the same road, but it says Cesar Chavez. I have no problem theoretically of them changing the name to honor whatever person, as long as it's not like Osama bin Laden Avenue, then I'm okay with it. But
no, they say this is going to change lives. They did that with Martin Luther King Boulevard on the west side. This is going to change people's opinion. It doesn't change crime. It doesn't do anything. It's just the name of a famous individual. And Martin Luther King Jr. was a good guy. So
well,
Cesar
yes,
Chavez
he was.
Is quite an individual into himself, because he would go on farms with his minions and they would destroy tractors and farm equipment. They got the ilk of the FBI and were designated communists. So that's the early part of the late 60s into the 70s with Cesar Chavez trying to organize a workers' union for the fields. And I don't know how well that did.
At least he got a sign out of it, I guess. I can't imagine being somebody at the city council or whatever and thinking to myself, you know what'll really change this, the youth of the next generation? A street sign.
That'll lower crime quickly.
Well, my story for this section of That Sounds Like a Personal Problem is a few weeks ago. I was at Woodward Park enjoying a day with the family, going out to see the ducks and the geese and all that. And the kids love throwing the bread to the geese. I don't know how geese survived before people started throwing bread to them. They must be starving in the wild, wherever that is. But Woodward Park now, they don't have a parking attendant at the front. The booth is still there. They maintain the booth. It is there. But there's nothing inside of it besides, I assume, black widows. The spider. And they just got a little sign that says, scan this to pay or use the parking stations. And I didn't want to hassle with my cell phone of paying online and all that. I happened to have cash with me, so I went to go use the machine where we parked. I put my $5 in. I think it's $5. I put my $5 in, and then it says, oh, sorry, error. Enjoy your day at the park. And I said, well, I don't want to get a ticket, so I'll try again. And actually, you don't put your money in yet. You press the button and you enter your license plate number on it. So I enter my license plate number again, and it says, oh, error, sorry. Enjoy your day at the park. So I figure, okay, I've done this 5 times at this point, trying to enter my license plate information. It says enjoy my day at the park. So I take that to mean, our system isn't working, so enjoy your day at the park. And so that's what I did. I had a great time. And you know what happened about 5 minutes later? Here comes the parking enforcement, and they throw a ticket on my car before I can walk down there and say, no. The machine told me to enjoy my day. I'm enjoying. I tried to pay, and you're going to give me a ticket? So I get the ticket, and it's $30. So I guess if you're a high roller and you don't want to hassle with paying, and you don't like $30 doesn't affect you, then whatever. For me, it does. And so I'm still in limbo. I'm waiting to hear what the decision is from the powers that be at the parks department or whoever it is in the city of Fresno on my parking ticket. Because I told them the story I just told you. I put my money in 20 times, or tried to enter my information to put my money in. I had the cash in hand. They don't understand the value of having cash in hand these days.
Well, can I interject?
And if there was
I had that problem at DMV yesterday. I wanted to go in and pay. So the bill was over $200 for the license tag for my car. So I wanted to update it. No, we don't do that. You got to go online or you got to call. So my wife, being the brain that she is, she went online and got it organized, and they added over $90 in fees to the original over $200 that they want you to pay for a tag. Now, my car is a 2016. It's not a 2025. You can reduce the price to a reasonable range. My goodness. I mean, I have the funds for it. That doesn't mean you have a right to put over $90 in extra fees up just to balance the budget of California.
But you know what? If you have a complaint, you should take it up with the same people that changed the sign to César Chávez.
I'll get something done. Yeah.
Or just start changing road names. I mean, honestly, anybody with a screwdriver and a wrench could go up and start changing the names of the roads.
Well, I think
that's
Kings
what we'll
Canyon
be doing
starts
next week.
At Chance at the beginning of the fairgrounds on that lane. There's Cedar, and then the next lane is Chance, where you can go to the fairgrounds.
Oh, okay.
But beyond that, Maple and everything, it's Kings Canyon.
Yeah,
Kings Canyon Boulevard, Kings Canyon Drive, Kings Canyon to Kings Canyon Park, you name it. And there's probably a fee, Aaron. Who wants a fee?
Back to present ancient Chinese pantomime, just for fun of it, Jello tonight. Back to present small Chinese type baby waiting for dessert. Chinese mother bling baby, Jello, famous Western delicacy. Oh, Chinese baby. He unable to tell if this Jello is strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, lime, apple, black raspberry, black cherry, or grape. Jello come in all 10 flavors. Poor Chinese baby. But Chinese mother bling baby, great Western invention. Spoon. Spoon was invented for eating Jello. Baby find this is grape Jello. Deep, dark, delicious new flavor. Chinese baby very happy. So end ancient Chinese pantomime. Is pretty good commercial, no?
Hey, we're back. Why don't you give the information again and how they can buy a cap or contribute to this program again, Aaron?
Well, if you want to contribute or buy a cap from this program, you're going to want to check out the show notes down at the bottom, wherever you are. So if you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or if you are somehow getting this into North Korea, you're going to want to check the paper at the bottom of the balloon that just floated into your country for the link to our hat and whatnot on Sticker Mule. So this portion of the program, Dale Mill, is really the meat of the program. And you, sir, told me, how are we going to fill an hour? Well, look at us. We're already 43 minutes into this. And we're actually running late, which I told you. And here we are. So this is the meat of the show. This is the thing that you've been waiting for. You have been waiting for Dale's story or history of the week, also with a what do they call it? An alternate title. Fresno doesn't suck. And that's where we are today. And this is where Dale takes us down memory lane. And before you take us, I just wanted to give a quick little synopsis of how we got to even talking about this topic today. And that's because Dale and I ran into each other randomly a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And somehow we got talking about how Fresno used to have a plethora of miniature golf courses. And today, it's hard to find one or two. Dale?
Okay, before I get to that, let's talk about things that are interesting. In the past, Aaron, 1955 in Fresno, the first franchise of McDonald's came out at Blackstone, just south of Shields Avenue. That was the first. Mm-hmm. Ray Kroc, franchisee, was in Fresno in 1955. Now, in the movie, they mention that the first one was in Arizona or somewhere else. No, it's not Arizona. It's Fresburg. So I like to say that. In 1965, we got the world's biggest movie screen. Okay, world's biggest, Sunnyside Drive-In, one screen. So when did that all happen and what played? I know what played, Aaron. I know what played.
No way. What played?
I found out. It was May 1965, the Roosevelt Band, which my brother was a part of as a clarinetist. He was there, and the talent portion to talk about this new world's biggest drive-in screen was Frankie Avalon and Deborah Wally and whoever was a person of interest that had bucks, whoever you want to use for that. But the movies they showed that evening were long. So you're going to have a long time on the big screen. Number one was Shenandoah in 1965. That was with Jimmy Stewart. Okay, we got the Shenandoah Western. Second feature to keep you there and asleep in your car, practically, was How the West Was Won from 62 with a plethora of stars, featuring also Jimmy Stewart and Carol Baker and Debbie Reynolds and Gregory Peck and Carl Malden and who knows who else. Also, people, you don't have enough information on this subject. The Wonderland skating rink between Shaw Avenue and Barstow. You are correct. In 1967, the summer of the Jefferson Airplane appeared, promoting their album Surrealistic Pillow. But who was there in the summer of 66 at Wonderland Skating Rink? You don't remember? I shall inform you. And that is Paul Revere and the Raiders. And that was the original threesome. That was Drake, Smitty, and Fang that played either drums or guitar or whatever with Paul Revere and Mark Lindsay, okay? No more saxophone. Saxophone's gone. So I wanted you to remember 1966, the summer of, at Wonderland Skating Rink, Paul Revere and the Raiders. Now we can talk about the miniature golf places in town, okay?
What was the guy from the Revolution doing with the Oakland Raiders, Dale?
Yeah, that was supposed to be catchy. They were mostly playing instrumental music. Mark Lindsay joined as a saxophonist in 61 before they had the big hit breakout in 65. They had Beatnik Sticks, which became, I think, a top 40 hit on the Grenada label. Then in 63, Fresno liked their version of Louie Louie and the Kingsmen's version of Louie Louie.
All right. Well, now that's that. We went a little out of order, but that's okay. Now we'll get to that meat that I was telling you about of the miniature golf courses.
We're going to talk about miniature golf courses now, which is a subject I love because I visited many of them.
Okay. And you never return the ball at the end. You have an entire room in your house.
I tried to play at Blackbeard's. I tried to play at Blackbeard's, another course, and they caught me and told me to leave. I was playing with my daughter, and I loved it. And I wanted to play some more. Can't do that. I have to play the 18th course to get rid of you. And I played with my daughter, and that was like 20 years ago. That was $10.25. Man, how times have changed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, Blackbeard's, it was $4 or $5.
Yeah. That's what I remember.
You could take a whole...
with my young daughter, and here it's $10 plus. No, you can't go anywhere else. After the 17th hole, you play it out and leave.
Well, guess what? I'm picking my ball up. I'm not playing the 18th until I've played all four. I think they have 4 at Blackbeard's.
No, they have 3.
3. Okay, until I play all 3. And did you ever have you ever hit the... I don't know if you call it a hole in one, whatever it is on the last hole where you supposedly win. No, me neither.
No, it's designed to let you play, and you're in and out of there like a burger. That's all it is. So that's how I review it.
Well, you might as well take the club home. If they're not going to let you play, they're not going to let you play the other things. Take the club home.
My favorite putter. So you putzes, let me keep my putter.
You told me in your commercial that Blackbeard's was a place for fun, and this is how I, Dale Mel, have fun.
I want to play all 3 with my daughter. I mean, you already got my money. What do you want? Let's start the golf courses now. Number 1, from the late 40s to the early 50s, somewhere on Belmont before you go under to Roding Park. Somewhere out there before you go under the bridge, east part, there was par 49. All right, my brother played par 49. He's older than I am by 6 years, and he loved par 49, and that was probably through 47 through 1960, because I never saw it. I don't remember it. I just know it's there, and I'm telling you about it.
For those of us who weren't around, where is this? It's where the zoo is now?
Before Roding Park, before you go under the bridge. Now that bridge is blocked by high-speed rail, and they've wrecked everything. That is a boondoggle of a boondoggle, and I know one of the ladies who works all that, and it is a boondoggle. You're going to spend $3 billion on a rail that's not really high speed. It's from, Merced to Bakersfield. Oh, so many sites, so many backyards to visit in Hanford and Kingsburg and whatever else. Oh, I'm in awe of this line.
And there's not even a miniature golf course on the train.
No, there's no miniature golf course along the way. That was on Highway 99 after Merced. That's closed up. That was number 1, par 49. Write it down.
All right. Number 2.
Impress your friends during trivia games. Number 2 was Big Trees Golf Course behind Blakely Swimming Pool. That was 5500 East Tulare. So now we're moving kind of uptown a little bit. Uptown, Aaron. we're
Where's
not on
uptown?
The west side. No, we're not on the east side much. We're toward Tulare and Clovis. And Blakely's swimming pool was in front of it. So it was part of Blakely's. And if you wanted a burger there, you can get wrong place. I guess you can get some food there like a burger, but they didn't feature the Bungo Burger. That's coming up in a bit. Big Trees Golf Course started probably in the late 40s, and it shut down because I was there when it closed. And my sister, who's older, and my brother, who's older, we played miniature golf there. It was closed in 68. Weeds were showing up. The guy let us play for free, and that was fun. The trees, the golf courses themselves, the miniature golf course was fun. And I have great memories of that, but I played there when it closed and the weeds started going up. Outside by the trees, inside by the little courses. So number 2 is Big Trees Golf Course.
And
number
now
3,
it's just the weeds. The weeds are still just there.
The weeds remain. It's Big Weeds Golf Course.
You can still go see a part of history, the weeds, where Big Trees Golf Course used to be.
I was there when it closed, Aaron. And then you go.
The guy handed you the keys and walked off into the sunset.
No. He gave us clubs and balls, and we played it.
Oh, nice.
But it was closed. We were the last of the big time people, and that was 68. I was in junior high. What?
Number 3.
Colonial Greens Golf Course. Colonial Greens was excellent. It was a dating place. If you want to get to know your girlfriend to see if she's nice or she talks too much or too bubbly or whatever, you take her to Colonial Greens Golf Course. That's Maple and Shields. And they were there, I guess, the late 50s through the 70s. And that was only 75 cents, and then later on it was like $1.25. So, Aaron, it's Colonial Greens Golf Course, number 3. Number 4, you don't even know. Because Fresno changed. The edge of Fresno was Dakota Avenue. Okay? East and west, Dakota Avenue. That was behind Sears. Sears is your stopping point on Shields Avenue. So there was nothing beyond that, pretty much, except the Rollerland skating rink and this place, plus the Chuck Wagon. Oh, and that was near Bullard Avenue. There's no one out at Bullard Avenue.
You didn't tell us what
the place that built there was Whitefront, and they had the great discount on the discs, Aaron. Discounts. Okay, number 4, you don't even know. Some of you may remember Golf World. What's Golf World? It was hot there. That was at the north side of Shaw and Blackstone. So that was Golf World.
That would be where the glasses place is now.
Hmm?
That would be where I think it used to be Stanton Optical.
For Mexican ice cream. And you can get your glasses done. And they have a
at the ice cream place.
They combined. They've combined everything. You need ice cream while you're getting glasses? Don't smear the lenses. That's all we ask. So what are we on? Number
that
4,
used to be a golf
World.
course.
That's from 64 through about 72. What happened to that at Blackstone and Shaw? It was hot, Aaron. It was open. So you didn't golf there during the day because the heat would just land on you. There were no drinks. There's no drink machines. There's no way you can bring your own drink. It was just a golf course with no overhead. The same thing with number 5 miniature golf course, and that is Arnold Palmer Golf on Cedar Avenue in Fresno. So it was in an empty field. The only thing that was there further on down was KJEO Channel 47. But there was no Marie calendars. You were just there in an open area.
There's not even a Marie calendars.
No, not yet. It was and
it's unfortunate that the name is so unfortunate too, because yes, Arnold Palmer is a golfer, but it's also what it's called when you mix together tea and lemonade, and they didn't even serve Arnold Palmer's at Arnold Palmer.
I don't think so. It was an open air golf course.
And it sounds like these people, they said they opened up the miniature golf. It sounds like they just opened up miniature golf courses and said, what? You've got golf. Like it. What, you want to drink? Drinks are for wusses.
In the rain, you can play. There's no covering there. So that was catty-corner to Fresno State. It was on the east side of Cedar. And that lasted from 65 also, like Golf World, to 72. It didn't last long. My brother played there. He enjoyed it. Next. Oh, this is where the burger comes in, the Bongo Burger. You go underneath the bridge to Roding Park. You make a full 180 turn off a side street. And there, about 1969, Polynesian, tropical teas. That was wonderful, the theme. It was multi-layered. A multi-layered miniature golf course that served bongo burgers, Aaron. So,
what was on a bongo burger, Dale?
I don't know. You're not supposed to play with your food, so I can't imagine what was on a bongo burger. What, pineapple? So you can have a Polynesian? Ugh, I don't.
That's what I would think. So you don't do pineapple on your pizza?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I'll remember that when we inevitably do the Me and Ed's.
It's a solid taste, Aaron. You have that on your pizza, and it just takes over the pizza. I can't taste the cheese. Can't taste any other toppings. And I like anchovies. And I like pepperoni. And I like chicken and onion. But not pineapple. So, okay, we're in the Polynesian era.
Mm-hmm.
Fresno supported Polynesian stuff. We had the Luau. I think that was on Broadway Street. And you can get Polynesian food there, Hawaiian style or Chinese style. Then you had the Lalani, and that was separated by Abbey and Blackstone Street. Okay? So that was near Olive Avenue. Then the other Polynesian restaurant, you don't know this one, but I do. It was the Blackstone Hut in between Olive Avenue and Belmont, right in the middle, where there's a U-Haul at now, on Blackstone Avenue. Okay, what was there about the Blackstone Hut? It was a 40s diner for sandwiches, surrounded by glass. I've seen a postcard. Now, you go in, 1964, to the Blackstone Hut. It's Polynesian. My cousin had a birthday. He was 13 years old in 1964. Thus, he had to wear a hula skirt, and then you had to hula around. So the one restaurant you probably don't remember that was Polynesian was the Blackstone Hut, because it changed and they crashed out the windows, Aaron. Made it full.
Number 7.
Oh, now we're getting to the basic. I know nothing about Max Putts. that was supposed to be between Cedar Avenue and Willow Street in the curve. Now, in the 70s, I know nothing about Max Putz. If you do, you're also a putt. No, I won't say you're a putz. Next in the 70s,
but at least you came up with the name.
Blackbeard's Miniature Golf. And that was a very nice place. I played there after work. I had to be in radio early. I didn't like it. Left at noon, played video games there.
How old were you at this point?
Blackbeard's. How old was I?
Mm-hmm.
I was about 27 or so. And I get depressed working mornings. Then they had 3 miniature golf courses, plus games, plus a lot of other stuff. And last but not least, Boomers. Okay? The whole Boomers experience I never experienced. I went in, I saw games. And along the freeway, again, Aaron, open air, hot in the afternoon. Wouldn't last long. All of a sudden, people or young people didn't go there during the day. It's too hot. So they mowed down the parking lot, mowed down the building, mowed down the golf course. Boomers is no longer there.
Now, hold on, because I am excited that I can actually add to this part of it, because the Encyclopedia of Fresno forgot one small detail about Boomers.
I'm ready to hear it, sir. I'm all headphones.
And that is that it was original, at least to my childhood. It was originally called, do you remember?
No.
Camelot Park.
Oh, Boomer. Oh, Camelot Park. I do remember that.
It was originally called Camelot Park.
Well, then
and then it changed to Boomers.
All this miniature golf stuff. Now Aaron owns his own Gulfstream jet. One final item, and then you can wrap it up with how to get a cap with our faces on it, and it looks like me from AI. The Aaron and Dale Show. This is produced by Aaron, owned by Aaron. Everything goes with Aaron, so you have to talk to him. The Twin Drive-In on Ashland Street between Cedar and Willow. What was the name of that one? 2 screens, gone, dirt. What is the twin screen drive-ins? We'll do drive-ins sometimes. The North and South Starlight Drive-In, the Motor Inn, the Sunset Drive-In. We'll do those. But I don't remember the name of the twin drive-in on Ashland.
Well, you were kind of breaking up for me at the end of there, but it'll sound all good when we're done because it'll upload. But I just wanted to mention that because Camelot Park, which then was Boomers.
Yes, you're right.
The part that I liked about it as a teenager, which maybe is one of the reasons they closed it down, is I loved trying to hit the ball with my putter up onto the freeway. by just smacking that thing as hard as I could.
You can do that. There's no top over it.
Yeah, nope. I never made it up onto the freeway, but believe me, I tried.
You need a better putter, Aaron.
Well, we have almost reached the end. Yeah, we are right about at the end, and I just want to introduce this segment before we close. This is our listener feedback section where we will allow you, our listener, to write into us, Aaron and Dale, your memories, maybe questions you have about the episode that we can address in the future. And what you can do is you can email us at Aaron and Dale Show. That's AARON, the word nostalgia. And spelled out AND, Dale Show at gmail.com. And not only can you write to us, but we would love if you sent us a voice note, because then we could play that on the air and you could hear yourself on our show and we could answer your questions that way. So if you want to do that, just take out your little cell phone, record yourself a little voicemail or voice note on whatever voice note app you have on your phone. And then all you have to do is just hit share and send it to aaronanddaleshow@gmail.com. So Dale, we don't have any feedback from our listeners, but I want your feedback on this first episode on what you thought about doing your first podcast ever.
I enjoy it. You believe in me, and I believe in you having radio talent, and I nicknamed you the future of radio. Even with Inga Barks saying it on the air on KMJ. Here is the future of radio, Aaron Arnett. So I appreciate you, and you appreciate my nostalgia thoughts, that some of it I knew, some of it I had to look up. But thank you, Fresno, for having given me such a wonderful childhood.
And there you go. That's what it's all about. Well, thank you, Dale. Do you have any other last words before we wrap it up for today?
No, I've said enough on our first program number 1 or episode number 1. I can't add anything to that.
All right. Well, then here's this cool jingle that I got from AI, and we'll see you next time.
Aaron and Dale, the fun never fails. The show's about to succeed.